you're on the record. This is the People versus Yanni Jones. Calling case is B119499. Failure to vaccinate a dog for rabies or produce proof of vaccination against rabies. B112026. Unlawful to interfere or obstruct a police officer or animal control officer in performance of duties. B112027. Failure of owner to keep dog on the owner's property. B119498, failure to vaccinate for rabies or produce proof of vaccination against rabies. B119500, harboring a dog which by loud, frequent barking cause a public nuisance to neighbors. B119497, harboring an unlicensed dog. And lastly, B119496, harboring an unlicensed dog. Today is a date set for an emergency motion hearing, and can we have appearances on the record, please?
Sydney Rogers for the People, P82072.
And Dennis Whitey, P79560, on behalf of Ms. Jones.
And Ms. Jones, can you state your name for the record, please?
Yanni Jones.
And Ms. Jones is on doing this hearing via Zoom, correct? For the record.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And let's see, who else can we put? You have officer in charge.
It may be Investigator Clark.
Yes.
Okay, can you put your appearance on the record, Officer Clark?
Investigator Clark of Detroit Animal Care and Control, badge number 77.
Thank you. And this is the people's motion, so you may.
Your Honor, prior to that, just housekeeping matter, being that the witnesses are streaming in live technically, we would ask for a sequestration order because I expect there to be at least 3 to 5 witnesses for testimony, except for, of course, the officer in charge.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, and this is one of the things that's different now that we're on YouTube. So during this hearing, if you're not a witness that's testifying, I'm going to put you into the waiting room, and you're going to stay in the waiting room until it's time for you to testify. And for anyone in during the hearing, after you step out in the hallway until your name is called, and with the exception of Officer Clark, who is the officer in charge of the case. So for Mr. Davis, Ms. McCool, Ms. Shepard, and Ms. Davis, I'm going to put you onto the waiting room until it's time for you to testify. Ms. Yanni Jones, you are to stay in the main room at all times so that you can hear everything in the allegations, okay?
Hey, Judge. Just,
Yes, ma'am.
We're in a whole new area here. Obviously, we're live streaming YouTube. I think the court should order the witnesses to purposely not tune in via YouTube, even though they won't be in by Zoom.
Okay.
Before the witnesses are put in the waiting room, can I just ask Ms. Amber Davis? I believe she may have to go to work, so I might need to call her out of order if she does have a conflict.
Okay, Ms. Davis, Amber Davis, is it correct? You have to go to work? You're on your way to work?
Oh, I'm here now, but they're giving me a break to tend to this, so I'm fine.
Okay, but Wade Davis has to get some sleep to go to work. So can you call him as soon as possible?
Yes, I will call everyone as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so everyone except for Ms. Yanni Jones and Officer Clark, I'm going to put you onto the waiting room.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Ms. Yanni Jones, Officer Clark, and of course, everyone physically present in court. And now, we are ready to get started.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. First, thank you for hearing this emergency motion. As I stated in my written motion, this motion is time of the essence due to one dog being very sick with bone cancer and another dog being vicious and attacking other animals in the animal control facility. Today, the court will hear testimony from multiple witnesses that were neighbors that lived next to these dogs that have been deemed dangerous, both Diego and Vera. The court will hear testimony that these dogs have killed two small neighboring dogs over the course of a month. They killed 2 dogs. These dogs work in pairs and are vicious and kill these other animals. One animal they even tore into pieces. Based on this testimony, the people are asking for a order per the city ordinance to euthanize both these dogs that have already been deemed dangerous. Both Diego and Vera were deemed dangerous by the animal control director on March 3rd, 2020. Per the city ordinance 631E, it states after the administrator, which here would be the director of animal control, deems the dogs dangerous, and he can deem the dogs dangerous based on a few things, and one of them is if they cause injury or death to persons or animals. These dogs have killed 2 animals, so that is satisfied, and that is why both dogs were deemed dangerous. And based on 631E, once the dogs are deemed dangerous, this court can enter an order to euthanize the animals. And that is the right thing to do here for multiple reasons. First, the dogs are extremely dangerous and a hazard to public safety, as they showed in their behavior that they've killed 2 dogs and attempted to attack the neighbors also, but thank goodness 2 of the neighbors were able to defend themselves with shovels. And also, it's the humane thing to do. One of the dogs, Diego, has been diagnosed with cancer that is untreatable, and he is in severe pain. So it's also humane to euthanize him due to his medical condition. And further, for safety reasons, the other dog, Vera, that's being held in animal control, has attacked other dogs. For all of these reasons, the people asked for an order to euthanize both dangerous dogs, Diego and Vera, and we also asked for an order of $4,660 of boarding costs. These dogs have been held since February, and it's $10 a day, which is a very reasonable rate. So I come to that number of $4,660 as of today's boarding costs from February. Thank you.
Your Honor, at the outset, I don't know if we'll cross this question at the conclusion, but I think the ordinance itself, after the testimony, may be just deficient. Obviously, the ordinance prescribes what can occur from the director of the animal control to deem a dog dangerous. However, the ordinance doesn't address the court or the standard the court is supposed to use in this case, or in any of these cases, to put a dog down. The ordinance itself may be sufficiently vague. I don't know if we'll cross into that. I just want to bring that to the court's attention at the outset. It just depends on the testimony. With respect to the facts of this case, we're going to leave the city attorney and her witnesses to their proof. There are certain elements they need to meet under the ordinance, I believe, just for this designation. And given this, we are of the belief that both dogs are not dangerous. It appears that, just for purposes of the record, it appears the evidence will show that Vera is more of an aggressive dog, not necessarily a dangerous dog, but Diego might be more of a follower and not actually responsible for some of these things. So, Judge, we're going to let the testimony play out and examine those witnesses and move forward with this case. I also just want to point out, I guess, to the court and also to Ms. Jones, who is here by Zoom, that there's pending cases which are of a criminal nature, misdemeanors that the court read off. This is merely more of a civil motion to have the dogs destroyed. So it kind of puts her at a disadvantage as an attorney. I have to advise her of her Fifth Amendment rights, because we still have a trial that we expect to be coming up on the criminal allegations. So just point that out with the court. The other thing, Judge, I just wanted to bring up is I believe the evidence will show that the prosecution witnesses are aware that Ms. Jones lives in Atlanta, Georgia at this time. She's no longer in the city of Detroit, and that may come into play a little bit later. I just want to bring the court's attention to that. Thank you.
Yeah, I will call, Miss Amber Davis, please.
I just saw her go to the front door. Wait a couple. I don't know where she went. Ms. Davis, go ahead and unmute your phone. Ms. Davis, go ahead, unmute your phone, please. Ms. Johnny Jones, we waited for you before we started the questioning on the first witness. Wait on Ms. Davis. Unmute her phone. Ms. Davis. So I'm going to enable. You want to start with Mr. Wade Davis?
Yes, please.
Now we have Ms. Amber Davis, you're there?
Yes.
Okay, you're up to testify, okay?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Mr. Wade Davis, I'm gonna put you back in the breakout room. You're next, okay? Ms. Davis, you have to stop driving if you're gonna testify.
Stop who?
Driving.
Okay, I'm about to pull over.
Miss Davis, I can call Wade Davis first if that works better.
Yeah. Can you call? Yeah. Can you call him?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Davis, you're up. Go ahead and unmute your phone.
Unmute.
There you go. Okay, Prosecutor Rogers, if you can see her on the screen, she's gonna ask you questions, okay? And,
Okay.
before we start, I'm going to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand? Mr. Davis, raise your right hand.
I've got it raised.
Oh, I just can't see it, okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Guess he doesn't have to walk up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
I can proceed, Judge?
Yes, you will.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Davis. Thank you for testifying today.
Good morning.
Could you please state your full name for the record one more time?
Wade W. Davis,
Thank you. And where do you reside?
16824 Linwood, Detroit, Michigan, 48221.
All right, thank you. And did you have a dog?
Yes, I did.
What was your dog's name?
Jacob.
Jacob, okay. And are you familiar with two dogs named Diego and Vera?
I don't know their names. All I know is the two dogs, one black and one tan.
Okay, can you describe how they looked?
The black one is big. The brown one's big. They're big dogs.
Okay. And are they Mastiff breed?
Come back again with that. I don't know what kind of breed they are.
Okay. And do you know who owns these dogs? Diego and Vera, the black and tan dog?
As far as I know, it's the lady behind my house that's on the other side of the street on Normandy.
Okay, and do you know who that woman is?
From the paperwork, Mrs. Jones.
Okay, but have you ever seen her?
Not until her dogs killed mine.
Okay, so you have seen her before.
After her dog killed mine, yes.
Okay, so how did you come in contact with this black and tan dog?
The dog came through my backyard, killed my dog, snatched him, and was headed back to her house. And I hit him with a stick in the alley, and he dropped my dog, and I picked my dog up and brought him and set him on my front porch.
Okay, Mr. Davis, I'm gonna kind of walk you through it slower, so it's not so much of a narrative. Do you remember what day this happened?
No, this was 2 months ago.
Okay, would you say this happened in January?
No, it wasn't in January.
Okay, so what happened in the day in question? Why were you in your yard?
Why was I in my yard?
Yes, what were you doing in your yard?
I was putting something in my car.
Okay, and were you out there with your dog or alone?
I was out there with my dog.
Okay, and your dog's name is Jacob?
Yes.
And what kind of dog is Jacob?
Jacob is oh man, what is Jacob? Jacob's dead. That's all I know right now.
Jacob's a small dog, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you and Jacob were in your yard, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what happened once you and Jacob were outside in your property?
What happened?
Correct. Did you come in?
Wait, his phone on mute.
Oh.
And
Mr. Davis,
oh,
Mr. Davis, 1 second, this is Judge Sabree talking. Your phone went on mute, so we weren't able to hear after Ms. Rogers said what happened when you were in your backyard with your dog, your audio went out. So if you could start from that point and answer that question again.
I was outside with my dog Jacob. Her dog came through my back fence alongside of my garage and alongside of the fence that's to the north of my house and snatched my dog up and was on his way back to the alley to go to her backyard, and I hit him with a what is it that I had? A shovel? No, my sledgehammer, and he dropped my dog, and he went under her gate and in her backyard. I picked my dog up, bleeding, and brought him to my house and set him on my steps so I could get my sledgehammer to protect myself if her dog, the black dog, came back towards me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Davis. So you said that the dogs came through your fence, correct?
Yes.
What do you mean they came through your fence? Like they actually went through it or they went over it?
He knocked the back gate open.
Oh, okay, so he was able to open the gate into your backyard.
Correct.
And is your backyard totally fenced in?
Yes, it is fenced in. My backyard has a gate to the north of my garage, and to the south of my garage is all fenced in. And then you've got the back of the garage that blocks everything else.
Okay, so did 2 dogs come through the gate or only 1?
When they killed my dog, only 1.
Okay, and which dog was this by color, the black or the tan dog?
The black dog.
The black dog, okay?
Yes. Now, that next Monday, both dogs got loose, and that's when the brown dog killed my neighbor's dog, but both dogs were loose in my backyard.
Okay, Mr. Davis, thank you. I'm gonna kind of slow you down so we can do one incident at a time. But, so only the black dog was the dog that snatched your dog out of your yard and killed your dog? If I got
Correct.
that. Okay. And what do you mean by snatched? What action did the dog do?
Miss, you're really upsetting me about right now. You really are.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Davis, this is Judge Sabree talking. Maybe you're not familiar with what goes on in court, but if she does not establish certain facts, nothing will happen today. She's asking you questions for information, and you need to answer the questions to your best of your ability, okay? I understand you're upset, but you have to answer the questions to your best of ability, and you're also going to be asked questions by defense counsel that may upset you as well. So prepare yourself to just answer the questions to the best of your ability, okay?
Snatched. Like if you had $100 bill in your hand and I walked up to you and just snatched it out of your hand. He scooped and snatched the dog off the ground.
Okay. Thank you. So the black dog took your dog out of your yard, and then the black dog took your dog to the alley?
Correct.
Okay. And is this alley behind your property and the property of Miss Jones?
Yes.
Thank you. Then after the black dog took your dog, what happened from there?
I hit the dog with a sledgehammer. He dropped my dog and he crawled under the gate at the Joneses property. I picked my dog up and brought my dog to my property on my porch. And then I grabbed the sledgehammer to protect myself just in case if he came back again.
Okay. And did the dog come back at all that day?
No.
And then unfortunately your dog Jacob died that day?
Yes.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Oh.
And do you have any other incidents with this black dog or the tan dog besides the day of Jacob's death?
After Jacob's death?
Correct.
Yes.
What were your other encounters with these dogs?
This happened on either a Tuesday or Wednesday, not sure of the date. That Monday, my neighbor's dog was in my backyard, and the brown dog and the black dog got out and killed her dog.
And you witnessed this?
I did not see him pick them up, literally see them pick them up, but everyone else did.
Okay. So you saw the tan and black dog go into your neighbor's yard?
No, they were in my yard. The tan dog chased me up into my house, and came up on my porch
Okay,
and leaned on my door.
okay,
'Cause
so that day,
my wife and my daughter Amber told me to stay in the house so I didn't get attacked by the brown dog.
okay, I see. So you were in your yard and the tan dog came into the yard and you had to run in your house?
Yes.
Okay. Um, and did you see anything else with the dogs that day?
Yeah, they were in my yard for at least 20 minutes.
Okay. And you were not able to be outside because these dogs were in your yard?
No, right, correct. I was not able to come out of my house.
Okay. Did the dogs ever try to attack you that day? Or were you able to go inside before they attacked you?
I was able to get in my house before the dog attacked.
And on that same day, did you witness the dogs go into Miss Shepherd's yard and kill her dog?
The brown dog did not go in Miss Shepherd's yard. The brown dog killed Miss Shepherd's dog in my backyard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you for the clarification. So where were you when you saw this happen?
Where was I when what?
When you saw the brown dog kill Miss Shepherd's dog in your yard, were you in your house at that point?
Yes, I was in the house.
Okay, and were you able to see this attack from your window?
No, I was not able to see it because it was alongside. There was a car parked in my backyard where I could not see her dog getting attacked.
Okay, so you just know that the brown dog was in your yard with Miss Shepherd's dog.
Correct. The
And
brown and black dog.
that was my next question. Okay, so you saw both dogs in your yard with the shepherd dog.
Correct.
Is there anything else you saw the dogs do on that day?
They were viciously barking, but the brown dog ran me up in my house and climbed up on my door like he wanted to come in.
Okay, but he wasn't able to come in, right?
Right.
Good enough. Do you have any other interactions with these dogs on a different day?
Not interactions. I mean, they would bark at night, but I work nights, so the only nights that it affected me was the nights that I wouldn't be working.
Okay, because the barking wake you up?
Oh yeah, they would keep you woke.
And did you have any interactions with Miss Jones, the owner of the dogs?
No,
But you do recognize Miss Jones?
if I had to pick her out of a lineup or something like that, no, I probably wouldn't. I've only seen her one time, and that's after the brown dog killed Miss Shepherd's dog, and I drove around the corner to see if they were gonna take both dogs. If the dog pounder, whoever they are, was gonna take both dogs or one dog, and they were on the porch and cussing me out.
Oh, okay, thank you. And how long have you lived at your residence?
I've been here for over 20 years.
Thank you very much. I know this is a very difficult thing to talk about, and I'm sorry for your loss. I have no further questions right now.
Mr. Davis, at this time, Attorney White is gonna do what we call cross-examination and ask you some questions. on behalf of his client, Ms. Yanni Jones, okay?
Good morning, Mr. Davis. My name is Dennis White. I represent Ms. Jones in this matter. I have just a few questions for you, okay? First, I'm sensitive to a loss of a dog. I'm a dog owner and lover myself, so I can appreciate some of the emotions here. I just want to clarify a few things, Mr. Davis. Is it your testimony that you do not even know who Ms. Jones is? Is that correct?
I'm not associated with her at all. No.
Okay, understand. And like you said, if you saw her in a lineup, you couldn't pick her out, correct?
More than likely not now, no.
Okay. And the first day when Jacob was killed, on that day, you saw two dogs enter your yard, snatched up your dog, and then ran to another yard on Normandy. Is that correct?
No. You said two dogs. I said one dog. When my dog was killed, just the black dog came in my yard. The brown dog was I don't know where the brown dog was. The
Okay.
black dog came in my yard.
Okay. And thank you for clarifying that. That was one of my next questions. So, but that black dog ran into a yard on Normandy Street. Is that correct? After that dog.
After he killed Jacob, he went to the alley, crawled underneath the hole in the fence, and went in the yard behind my house.
Okay. And you didn't speak to the occupant of that house on that date, did you?
Me personally, no.
Okay. Thank you. Nope, that's. Now, also on the day that Jacob was attacked by the one lone black dog, that black dog did not attack you, isn't that right?
Correct.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I believe you testified you actually got a sledgehammer. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you used that sledgehammer against the black dog, correct? You struck the black dog with the sledgehammer?
I hit the black dog in the back with the sledgehammer, and he dropped my dog in the alley.
Okay. And after you hit this black dog with the sledgehammer, he didn't turn around and try to bite you. Is that right?
Correct. He crawled underneath their gate.
Okay. Now I'm going to fast forward to the incident where your neighbor, Mrs. Shepherd dog, was apparently attacked in your yard. Okay. On that date, you stated that the only thing you saw was that Miss Shepherd's dog, as well as I believe both black and tan dogs, were in your yard. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And do you normally keep Miss Shepherd's dog in your yard?
No.
Okay, so Miss Shepherd's dog, apparently, Miss Shepherd didn't seek permission or anything from you to place her dog in your yard, is that right?
No, she didn't.
Okay. And again,
Her dog was along the side of my fence when he got attacked.
okay. And so that dog wasn't in his own yard, isn't that right?
Correct.
Okay. And was Miss Shepherd's dog on a leash or a chain or anything?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And on the day that Miss Shepherd's dog was attacked, I believe you said you were ran into the house by the tan dog, is that right?
Correct.
And you believe the dog was vicious, right?
Yeah.
And so because the dog was vicious and had you pinned in the house, did you make a call to 911?
I made a call to 911 before the dog ran me in the house.
Okay. So you called 911 prior to your interaction with the dog, is that right? Okay. Is that a yes? I'm sorry, we didn't pick it up.
Oh, you went on mute.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. at any time with any contact you came into with the black or tan dog, were you ever injured?
No, I had a sledgehammer.
And even with that sledgehammer, that dog didn't try to attack you? They went the other way?
I swung the sledgehammer and he went the other way. Correct.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I appreciate your testimony. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Mr. Davis, I only have a few more questions for you. Did you ever see the black and tan dog with Miss Jones?
No. As I said before, I did not associate with this lady. I had never seen her until her dog killed my dog. And after this happened, I heard my wife said that she stated that she would replace my dog. And I told them that there's no amount of money. She ain't got enough money to replace my dog.
Yeah, of course, irreplaceable. I understand that. How did you know where the dogs live?
Because the dogs would be barking at night. They right across the alley from me.
Okay, which would be the Normandy address?
Correct.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. You go ahead and get some rest now.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day. Ms. Gabby Jones is disconnected. Oh. She's back. So, who would you like next?
I believe Amber Davis is no longer on the call.
She had the, her break was already the other day.
Okay. I will move to, I think the pool.
Ms. Yanni Jones? Can you unmute your phone for a moment?
Yes, ma'am.
Having some Wi-Fi issues?
I did.
Okay. All right, so anytime that I see you logging off, I'm letting the court know so you have time to log back on and hear the testimony, okay?
I can't hear you.
No, I said that anytime I see that you're logged off, I'm letting the
Ma'am.
court know.
My connection had disconnected us. I didn't log on.
No, I'm just saying, I'm letting you know that I'm pausing anytime I see you're not in the room so that you can have the opportunity to hear everything that's going on.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Ms. Jones?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
Can't do audio.
Can't do audio.
Audio, I was gonna say she could disconnect to audio.
Hello?
Ms. Jones, we can hear you, but apparently you can't hear us, because you keep saying hello.
No, I can't hear you. I'm trying to see if you can hear me. Nobody was saying that.
Try to step into another area in your house to see if you have better Wi-Fi.
I've been on here for a minute. I think it's my super hot. I'm trying to download it on my other phone right now.
Can you hear me talking to you, Ms. Jones, now?
Yes. Can I try to my other one? What's the meeting ID? I'm gonna try to log in with my other phone.
360-332-0000.
Uh-huh. Um, Never mind. It's saying it's invalid. I don't know. Okay, can you hear me now? Because I can hear y'all good.
Yep,
I think I got a good
we can hear you. So I'm getting ready to bring in the next witness, okay? Ms. Jones?
Okay.
And that would be, okay, Ms. McCool, go ahead and unmute your phone. There we go. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, Ms. Rogers, the prosecutor Rogers is going to ask you some questions. And after that, defense counsel will ask questions and probably a few more. There's be a lot of questions, so just answer them to the best of your ability, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, I'm Sydney Rogers, I'm the city attorney. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Good. One more time, can you please state your full name for the record? Can you please state your full name for the record?
Full name is Shantae McCool.
Okay. And where do you reside?
16824 Linwood Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48221.
Okay. And have you had any interactions with two dogs named Diego and Vera, which are black and tan dogs?
Yes.
What was your first interaction with these dogs?
First interaction was when they were on my front porch, trying to. I think it was after they had ended up killing my dog. My first interaction was with them after they killed my dog. So they were like on the porch. They were in our yard, on the porch, on our grass, in our backyard. They were just loose.
Okay.
I'm
gonna slow you down a little bit. So you said you saw them after they killed your dog.
Yes.
What's your dog's name?
I'm sorry?
What was your dog's name?
Jacob.
Jacob. All right, I'm very sorry about your loss. Did you see what happened to Jacob? Were you home that day?
No, I wasn't home that day, but when I came home, I know my dog was laying on the step dead. That's all I couldn't walk up personally to my dog, but yeah.
Okay. So your next personal interaction with Diego and Vera was after Jacob, and they came on your porch?
Yes, on the porch, in the grass, in the backyard.
And where were you in the house? Were you outside or inside?
No, I was inside.
Okay. And could you not leave your house because they were on the porch?
Yes.
Okay. Did you not want to leave your house because of what they did to Jacob?
I'm sorry?
Did you not want to leave your house when they're on the porch because of what they did to Jacob?
I didn't want to leave because they were vicious. They're vicious. They're at the door barking. Like they're on our property. Like we don't know the dogs, so they got teeth, so they bite. To me, they bite. I didn't want to leave the house. I don't feel safe. Didn't feel safe. Honestly, didn't feel safe until the dogs got taken. Honestly speaking, because after that, they were just getting loose like crazy. They're loose all the time. It's the school down the street, not even 2 blocks, not even 2 houses down from where we stay. And the dogs is loose at 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's just not okay. And I heard that they chase kids to school. They attack dogs on that street over there.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So I just didn't feel safe.
Okay, so you did not feel safe at your own home due to these dogs?
No.
And can you describe what the dogs look like?
One was a brown dog, and the other one was a black dog. They both were cane corsos. One was a male and one was a female.
Okay, and these are large dogs, right?
Big dogs, huge dogs.
Okay. So on the day that you said you were inside and the dogs came on your porch, they ran all around your yard?
They were all over the house. I'm actually outside. I can show you, but they were all in our backyard. They were on the porch, in our front grass. They were everywhere. They were even in the next door neighbor's yard.
Jeez, okay. And your house has a fenced-in yard? Is your yard fenced in?
Yes, we have a fence, but we don't close it because we don't really go back there, the backyard, because we have a lot of cars. So all our cars are kind of like in a driveway, and we can't really close the gate because we have a lot of cars. But we normally don't let my dog. We don't let our dog back there. We normally walk our dog.
Okay.
We normally walk our dog.
Okay. So when the dogs Diego and Vera were on your property, what happened after they were running around?
I believe they end up. All I know was they end up leaving our property. I don't know where they went, but I know that the owner didn't get the dogs right after. I know that for a fact because they were still running around, but they weren't in our yard no more.
Okay. So the owner never came and got the dogs, and the dogs did not come to your property with the owner?
No, at all. They hopped their gate.
Okay.
They did. It's a hole underneath the gate that has been dug. That's been dug at like for months. It's been dug at for months, and the owner has like dog houses like stacked up. So I don't know if they could have jumped on that and hopped the gate or dug and crawled underneath. But all I know was they got to my dog. They hopped the gate. The owner wasn't with them. That's all I know. They came over here by themselves.
Okay. So your house and the Normandy house, they back up to each other?
Yes. We stay behind the lady with the 2 dogs.
Okay, I see. So the dogs dug a hole under your fence, and that's how they could get in? If I understand that correctly?
They dug up a hole underneath their fence. So it's an alley. So it's like an alley with trees, and then you have their gate, their backyard, and then you have our gate, our backyard. So however they got over, I didn't see it. All I know was they got from over the gate without an owner, and our next door neighbor, she doesn't have a gate back there. So they came through the next door neighbor's backyard.
I see, okay. And do you know who owns these dogs, Diego and Vera, that were in your yard?
You said.
Do you know who owns the dogs?
I'm sorry, can you repeat yourself? You were breaking up.
Oh, yes. Do you know who owns the dogs, Diego and Vera?
Well, I know her name is Yana. That's it. We don't really associate with her.
Sure. Have you seen her in her yard with these dogs before?
Never. She's never. The dogs are always outside barking. Always outside. They always keep up a lot of noise. She's never outside. I never see her feed the dogs, none of that. Now, maybe they go in and eat, but they're always outside without an owner, without somebody out there.
Okay. But you know Miss Jones lives at that Normandy house?
Do I know?
That Miss Jones lives at the Normandy house?
Yes.
And how do you know that?
My parents told me from since the incident's been going on, we kind of got a connection with everybody.
Your Honor, just for purposes of the record, I've let it go. I'm trying not to object, obviously, given what we're dealing with. But this is just hearsay on top of hearsay on top of hearsay on top of hearsay. And I think this is an improper line at this point. I think she's testified clearly to her personal knowledge. She doesn't have a lot of it, and I think that's sufficient for the record, Judge.
Okay, response from people.
I don't believe the question was bad. I believe her answer is hearsay, and I will move on.
Okay. So yes, it was hearsay for Mrs. McCool to discuss what she heard from her parents. I don't believe there's an exception based on what her response was to that question.
And Judge, it was not the question, it was the response.
Yeah. Okay, Ms. McCool, go ahead and unmute your phone.
Okay.
I just muted you because there was an objection put on the record, and I had to stop you from talking to handle the objection.
All right. So, did you have any other interactions with these dogs?
Besides after they attacked my dogs, no, because from my understanding, they were taken to the police station. But that was about it. That's the only interactions I had with the dog. But I've seen them loose on the street before, multiple times. Times. They're loose multiple times. But this is their first time. This was their first time coming in our backyard attacking our dog.
I see. Yes. If you could say, how many times have you seen them loose in your neighborhood?
Over 5 times. They're always loose. They're always loose.
And
that's why I said I didn't feel safe. And I didn't really feel safe after. I didn't feel safe because, like I said, the dogs were out. We seen the dogs out multiple times. So we had, tell each other, like, it's dogs loose, y'all, be careful. We watch Jacob, we shouldn't have to do all of that. We shouldn't have to do that. This is our, the dog should be on a leash, getting walked. But they're always loose. But that was my first interaction with the dogs when they killed my dog. That's that thing. But they're always loose. They're never on a leash. Like I said, it's a school 2 houses down. They're always loose. The incident happened at 6:30 in the morning.
On and on.
What's the objection?
I object,
They're always
Judge.
loose.
I'm responsive to the question.
They're always loose. They're always.
it was responsive.
She allowed her ugly self.
Ms. Jones.
The answer was responsive to the question, and she had a long answer, the long question, because this has been a very complicated situation, and she had a lot to say about it.
I think she answered the question. She just keeps repeating herself.
Yes,
Into a narrative of the same repeated answer over and over that the dogs were loose.
Yes, I will remind her this question answered.
Okay. Hey, Ms. Nicole, go ahead and unmute your phone.
Okay.
All right, sorry, we had to pause again for another objection. I'm almost done. I only have a few more questions, and I know that this is a very hot topic and hard to talk about, but if we can do kind of more of an answer and question format. You said that your house is near a school, correct?
To be exact, 2 houses down from a school.
2 houses down from a school, okay?
Correct.
And have you ever seen these dogs chase children?
Yes.
Okay.
One incident. One incident. That was it. And then, like I said, I've seen them loose in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So we called police. They don't do anything about the dogs. And like I said, it wasn't just my safety I was concerned about. It's kids going to this school. You feel me? It's little kids going to the school. Relatives going to the school. These are big, vicious dogs.
Yes, no,
vicious dogs. I know you heard what they did to the next door neighbor dog. Vicious dogs. They tore the next door neighbor dog in half.
On other incidents, non-responsive to the question, hearsay about what heard.
It's not a hearsay, sir. I seen.
Ms. McCool. This is not.
And that's the school that my children go to.
Okay. It don't matter your dogs are still loose.
Listen.
Your dog.
Okay. So let me explain something to both of you all. If you all were both in court today, Ms. McCool, I'll be 1 second away from holding you in contempt because you continue to talk aggressively to someone who is giving an objection in court, which is allowable. You continue to answer the question, and you can continue to be combative about an answer that we already heard. I understand you're upset, and I understand that, but there are court rules, and there's decorum that you have to have in a court, regardless how upset and how mad you may be. Ms. Jones, you cannot jump in and give commentary every time you hear something you don't like or that you disagree with. Your attorney will have the opportunity to cross-examine her to address those issues. Ms. McCool, I need you to calm down, stop vaping in your car, because if you were in court, you would be kicked out for smoking in the courthouse. This is the last time I'm warning. I feel like I'm a parent talking to children. I'm sick of this. Just answer the question.
Okay, Ms. McCool, I only have 2 more questions. So you saw these dogs here, Diego and Vera, chase school children one time, correct?
Sure.
That's a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And did you always see the dogs together, the tan dog and the black one?
Yes.
Or were they? Okay, always together?
Yes.
Okay, and did you know the names of the dogs?
No.
No. But you were able to, you could recognize that they're the same dogs?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Nothing further. Now defense counsel will ask you some questions.
Okay.
Mr. Cole, my name's Dennis White. I represent Ms. Jones in this matter. I have just a few questions. I'm trying to clarify a few things. First is that your dog was killed this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you actually didn't see your dog get killed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so any testimony that you've given is just based on your belief that it was a certain dog or dogs that killed your pet. Is that correct?
No, it wasn't a belief.
Okay. You didn't see it though, correct?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. Now you said that day they hopped their gate. Was it that day that your dog was killed they hopped their gate?
Yes, it was.
And when I say they, I mean the black and brown dog.
Both of them, yes.
You actually saw them hop over the fence?
Oh, no, I didn't see them hop over the fence.
So you actually don't know where the dogs came from that day,
They
right?
came from their house, from behind the house. That's what I know for a fact. They came from behind the house.
And that's what I'm asking. So since you saw them come from behind the house, how did they get through a fence?
They hopped the gate. They hopped the gate, and they have a hole dug underneath their gate.
Okay. But you didn't see them come out of that yard that day, right?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't physically see them come out the yard.
Thank you. Now, you've had multiple you've witnessed these dogs multiple times over the course of at least a year. Is that right, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. And you stated you had some concern because the school's nearby and there's kids. Isn't that right?
And I stay here. So I'm concerned for my safety. Yes.
I understand. And in fear for your safety, right?
Yes.
How many times did you call the police or animal control with respect to these dogs being loose?
Probably about 2-3 times. And I stopped calling after that because they didn't do anything about it. The dogs just stayed there.
Okay. So you actually made reports to animal control, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that we're doing a record? Is that a yes?
Oh yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And to your knowledge, they investigated your complaints. Is that right?
I'm sorry?
To your knowledge, did the animal control officers investigate your complaints?
They still have them in hold. They didn't,
No. I understand that, man. What I'm saying is prior to the dogs being taken, you made complaints, right? Regarding these dogs?
Yeah.
Okay. And to your knowledge, did the animal control department investigate your complaints at that time?
Oh, No.
Okay. Now, because they didn't investigate your complaints and you stated you were in fear for your safety, did you ever call 911 when these dogs were out near the children?
No.
Okay. So you didn't actually fear that they would be in, these children would be in great bodily harm, danger, or anything like that. Otherwise, you'd have called 911. Isn't that right?
Like I said, I've called 911, but not on that incident.
Fair enough. I think you made yourself clear. I appreciate you answering my question. Thank you.
No problem. You too.
Just a few more questions from me.
Okay.
When you were testifying just a moment ago with Mr. Whitey, you said that you did not see the dogs go over the fence. Was this when Jacob was killed or when the dogs were on your porch?
Both incidents. I didn't see the dogs hop over the gate on both incidents, but I know how they got over the gate. I know that for a fact because I've seen them done it before. These dogs been behind my house for years, is what I'm saying. Like, we watch the dogs.
I see.
Is what I'm saying. So I've seen them done it before, but I didn't see them do it that day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
How long have the dogs lived in the house behind you? If you, like a ballpark.
We've been here for about 7 years, so about the same, about 5, 7.
Okay. So this has been an ongoing thing for years.
The dogs, like I said, the dogs just became a problem probably about 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Okay. And have you had some interactions with an animal control officer regarding this?
No.
Okay, did one never come to your house?
Did who? Yes, they came to the house. They did.
You just didn't speak to them?
No, I didn't speak to him. I didn't want, because I'd be so amped up. So my parents and everything talked to the people, but the people came to the house and conversated with us. Definitely did.
Okay. I appreciate your testimony. Nothing further.
Ms. McCool.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, you disappeared. I have a couple questions.
Okay.
This is Judge Sabree talking. I know the camera's not on you, but. So do you know, can you identify the dogs by name, or is it just that you know that they're black and tan?
I just know they're black and tan.
Okay. Do you know the date in which your dog was killed or the month?
What's it, September? October? I want to say around July.
Of 2020?
Yeah.
Yes or no report?
Yes.
Okay, any follow-up based off of those questions?
None for the defense. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, just 1 second, please.
You're almost done, Ms. McCool.
Okay.
Sorry, again, briefly, a few more questions for me. You believe that the dogs killed war dog Jacob in July of this year?
Yes.
When did the dogs get taken by animal control that were no longer on your street?
I want to say probably probably like 2 weeks later. I'm not really sure. Like I said, my people dealt with animal control. I wasn't.
Okay, so since sometime in the summer, they haven't been on your street any longer.
I'm sorry?
The dogs, Diego and Vera, have not been on your street since sometime this summer?
Oh, since they've been taken, they've been on the street because my dog is gone.
Okay, so you haven't seen the dogs, Diego and Vera?
Since they've been taken, right?
All right, nothing further, thank you.
Okay.
You're all set, Ms. McCool. You have a good day.
You too.
On the chapter, are you ready?
Can I do Alicia Davis in person first?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Where are we going?
Oh.
It's so long.
Oh.
Right. No, you don't move. Don't.
I believe we're gonna have you go in the stand.
Okay. Been a while since Just make sure you watch that forward. Okay. Oh. Do you need a lift up? You okay with it? Yeah.
Judge, before you swear in, I just got to make one quick thing on the record.
Yes.
See where, I just want the court to be aware, Judge, that while I'm texting during the trial, I'm not just taking care of business, but that's how I need to communicate with my client, given that she's in Atlanta, Georgia, and appearing by Zoom, so.
I didn't see text.
Okay, thank you. Just to make sure anything else rude.
No. Okay, can you raise your right hand? You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is true, and the truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, have a seat, and make sure you speak up, so that everyone can hear you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
If you could please state your name for the record.
Alicia Davis,
And where do you reside?
16824 Linwood Street, next to Detroit, Michigan.
And have you had some interactions with two dogs named Diego and Vera?
Not personally, but they stay right behind me. So for like maybe the past, I want to say 2 years, all we would hear is barking, day in, day out, bark, bark, bark. I know one time I went in my backyard, I seen them like chewing on her fence because of my dog. I don't know if they knew I had a dog, but they were chewing on her fence. I don't know what they were doing at that time, but that's how I know the dog.
Okay. And can you describe what these dogs look like?
One is black and one is, maybe brown, goldish. or
Okay,
something
like a tan color?
Like a tan color.
Okay. And what is the size of these dogs?
I don't know the size, but they're pretty big. I would say they come to maybe the hip, maybe,
Okay,
somewhere in there. They're
So-
pretty big.
so you would say these are large dogs?
Yes, yes,
And did you own a dog?
yes.
What was your dog's name?
His name was Jacob.
Okay. And what kind of dog was Jacob?
He was a Yorkie.
So that's a small dog, right?
Yes,
We're talking like under 10 pounds, right?
yes.
And your dog was killed by these dogs.
Yes.
Did you witness that?
No, I was at work.
Okay. Did you ever witness these dogs being on your property, the Diego and Vera?
No, not before the incident.
Okay, how about after the incident?
After, yes,
And the incident meaning Jacob, correct?
yes.
Okay, when did you witness Diego and Vera on your property?
I witnessed the day that they came in and put my neighbor's dog.
Okay, you saw that?
Yes.
Okay, if you can please describe to me what happened that day.
It was on a Sunday morning, I'll never forget. I was sitting in my living room. I had just woken out of a sleep, because I heard some noise, like a screaming, a hollering noise. And Mr. Davidson was just coming in from work,
And I had asked him, I said, well, did you hear that noise? He said, no, I didn't hear anything. I said, you didn't hear that, you know, because our ears is, you know, kind of, I guess, good or whatever. But he said, no, I didn't hear that. So I sat there for a minute, and I heard my neighbor screaming, a really loud, kick scream. And I went to my door, and I saw the dog. And I screamed, I said, the dogs are out again.
Okay, and just to slow you down, what dogs did you see?
I don't know their name.
Okay.
Whatever her name, I don't know her name. Jones, her dog.
Okay, and these are the dogs that you previously described, the black and tan dogs?
Yeah.
Okay. And once you saw these dogs, then what happened from there?
I saw the dogs, and they were trying to get to my neighbor's dog. And she was outside in her yard, letting her dogs out. She has 2 dogs to use the bathroom. And they were in my property. They went around to try to hem her up. And she got some help from one of her grandkids, I think it was her grandkids. So by that time, I got in my vehicle, myself and my son. I got in my vehicle to go around to her property to let her know that her dogs is loose in my yard. I was outside blowing my horn. I didn't go on her porch. I didn't pull up in her driveway. I was on the street.
Okay, sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna slow you down a little bit. To go back a little bit, when you saw Diego and Vera, the black and tan dog, go into your neighbor's yard, Miss Shepherd, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and Miss Shepherd is your neighbor,
Yeah.
okay? And you saw her out there with her
Yeah.
dog?
She was on her cane, and she was outside with her dog in her backyard, letting her dogs out to use the restroom. She's on a cane,
Okay.
and she was on a cane in her yard.
And do you know what kind of dogs Miss Shepherd has?
Oh,
Or describe their size, please.
She has a little one. It was a black dog. I think maybe it was a Scottish Terrier or something like that. He was really curly,
Okay.
black furry dog. And then she had another, I think it was a lab.
Okay.
I'm not for sure.
So, yeah, that's fair. It's not your dogs. The first dog that you described, would you consider that a small dog?
Yes.
So you saw the black and tan dog, Diego and Vera, go to Miss Shepherd's yard. Did you see anything from there?
From there, I saw Miss Shepherd, the little dog. I don't know how, I can't see through her house or whatever,
Yeah.
but somehow he got around to my house. I guess he was trying to get away or whatever. He got around to my property to try to get away, I guess hide under one of my cars.
Okay.
And the black one, that was the tan one. The tan one came running behind her. And the black one was in the back of the yard, we stay on the alley. And the black one came toward her dog, and that's how they got her dog. It was like they kind of hemmed the dog up.
Okay. And do you know the name of Miss Shepherd's dog?
Lucky and Angel.
Okay, all right, just for making it a little easier to understand what's going on. So you saw Lucky
That's
being,
the smaller dog.
okay, being chased, is that how you describe it?
I don't want to say chase, but maybe they followed to try to hem, because they were like a team. Those 2 dogs, they were like a team. They worked well together. And it seemed like they were, I guess, I won't say what, sinking together, because one had this one end, and the other one had this end, and it was like they just went for him.
Okay.
To clarify for the record, like this and that end.
The alley behind John, we stay on the alley part.
So they were opposite ends.
One was on the party, I'm sorry, yes, yeah, one was on this, front of my driveway and the end of my driveway.
Okay. So they were essentially, Diego and Vera, the black and tan dogs, were on either side of Lucky. Lucky was in the middle of these 2
Yeah.
dogs. Okay. So once this like triangle kind of happens, then what happened from there?
That's when I went around to let her know her dogs were out.
Okay. And who were you letting know that her dogs were out?
Miss John.
Okay, and then this is the owner of Diego and Vera, the black and tan dogs?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you know that she's the owner of these dogs?
From my dog. When her dog was back.
Okay, that's how you know that she owns these
Yes.
2 dogs?
I've never seen her before. All I knew was somebody stayed in the house with the dogs. I never seen her except for when my dog was killed. That's when I
And how did you know that Dago and Vera, the black and tan dogs, lived at 16825 Normandy?
They stay right behind me, not sitting in the yard in her backyard.
Okay, so you see the dogs coming in and out of there?
Yes,
Okay. And do you ever see her at the house?
no, not before. No.
So on the day that Miss Shepherd's dog was killed, when you get in your car, you went to Miss Jones' house, the Normandy address,
Yes,
and what did you do when you arrived there?
I sat there and I blew my horn until she came to the door. She finally came to the door, and I told her her dogs were loose and they killed another dog. And she shut her door, and I don't know what she did from there, and I went back around to my house. She tried to go in my house, and her dogs were on my porch, barricading they were jumping on my door. I couldn't get in my house. We had to sit in my car.
Okay,
And our neighbors were coming outside, and I was telling them, please go back in the house. The dogs are out again, they're loose. I couldn't get in my house. They were literally jumping on my door, and I have a video. I
okay,
took a video.
okay. Okay, so this was all the same day that Lucky was killed.
Yes,
Okay, so by the time you came back to your house from notifying Miss Jones, the dogs no longer were with Lucky now they're on your porch,
yes,
okay? And at this point, did you see Miss Jones anywhere?
no,
Okay, and were the dogs on a leash or anything?
no,
And they were not supervised,
no,
okay? And could you get into your house?
no.
Because the dogs were on the porch?
The brown ones, the tan ones, were literally jumping on my door. Like she was trying to come in, maybe she still smelled my dog, I don't know. But she was literally jumping on my door.
And were you afraid of these dogs?
Yes,
And why were you afraid of these dogs?
because they killed my dog.
I,
And they seemed like they were vicious dogs from the get-go, from the summer. I would see them in the backyard I never saw food in a bowl. I never saw water in the bowl. Their bowls was always tipped over. And I would just see them just running back and forth, like, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know she stayed there. We never saw her. We just knew some dogs stayed in the house.
okay. And what do you mean they were running back and forth?
In her backyard, they were just running back and forth. Like, I think she had a crate or some type of wood or something back there, and they would jump from there. Just, I guess,
Okay.
man dogs, whatever.
So it didn't seem like the dogs were taken care of,
No,
from what you could see.
no.
How long, if you can say, how long have the dogs lived at this Normandy address behind your house?
I would say, I don't know. I recollect maybe 2 years. It could have been longer than that. I don't know. That's when the nuisance began with the bark.
Okay. And, how often do you hear the barking?
All day, all night, sun up, sun down. No matter what time of day, they were up barking.
And is this most days also?
All day, every day.
Okay. To go back to the incident with Lucky, so when you get back to your house and they're on the porch, what happened from there?
I stayed in my vehicle until, I don't know who came, because I couldn't see through my alley. I don't know who came and called the dog, but they eventually went back through my backyard to their house.
Okay. Someone called the dogs?
Yeah.
Okay. But you could not see who it was?
No, I don't know who it was.
Could you not see it just because like how they were in that, like how the houses are set up and
That's how the
everything?
houses are.
Could you tell if it was a male or female voice?
It sounded like a female, but I don't wanna, I'm not for sure. It sounded like a female.
Okay. And how long after you notified Miss Jones about the dogs being loose, did you hear this voice?
The female voice?
Yes. That was calling the dogs.
I didn't. It took maybe 2 minutes before I heard a voice.
Oh, I think my question might have been confusing. When you went to the house and beeped your horn to notify Miss Jones about the dogs being out, and then by the time you came back to your house and the dogs were called back, how long do you think that time period was?
Well, the dogs were on my porch, I say about 5 minutes.
Okay,
I say my video will be about 5 minutes long.
okay,
And then that's when I heard, like I said, I don't know if it was a male or a female, but it sounded like a female called the dog back, and they went back.
okay. So how long would you say this incident took place over?
From the time it got lucky until,
They went back to their house, correct?
I think the incident maybe about 30 minutes.
Okay. And then once they left, once they were called back and left your property, what happened from there?
From there, I believe myself or my neighbor called Mr. Clark in between, I think so, to let him know that the dogs were out and loose again.
Okay, and who is Mr. Clark?
I think he works for the animal control, he was the investigator over the case.
Mhm.
He's who I initially spoke to with my dog.
Okay, so you've had interactions with Mr. Clark before?
Yeah.
Okay. And what were those interactions?
Well, when my dog was attacked, he came to the property. He was out at the property. So he questioned myself and my neighbor. And from there, I was keeping in contact with him, trying to find out what's going to happen to the dog.
Okay.
And he was telling me that they're going to be in quarantine, I think for 7 days or 14 days, to see if they show any type of temperament, any type of anger issues or whatever. And she will be allowed to come and pick her dogs up. At that time,
Sorry to slow you down, just so I understand everything. So he told you that after what happened with
to
Jacob,
my
your dog?
yes,
Okay, so were the dogs removed from the
Yes.
Normandy address after that incident?
yes,
Okay, and this was after you talked to Mr. Clark, the
Yes.
investigator Clark?
yes.
Okay. And how long roughly do you believe the dogs were gone after the incident with Jacob?
It could have been 7 days,
Okay,
7 days, and they were back home.
okay. And then by the time, so from, how much time passed between the incident with Jacob and the incident with Lucky?
My incident was January 16th. I never forget it happened for my son's birthday. And I do believe the incident with Miss Shepherd, it was like the early part of February, maybe the 9th, the 10th, or somewhere between. It was, I don't know the exact date, but it was early February.
Okay, so this was all about a month apart?
Yes.
And did you ever speak to on this investigator Clark of why the dogs were released back to Miss Jones?
I was constantly asking him what was going on, how was the case going, did you know anything, what happened to the dog? And he was telling me she was giving a ticket, she had so much money warm out, we're gonna try to take care of the dog. That was what he kept telling me.
Okay. So you're not sure why the dogs were back at the property?
No. Well, he told me, let me back up, he told me she was gonna be given a ticket.
Mhm.
And after that, she could pay so much amount of money to come get her dog back.
I see, okay.
And that's how she got it back.
I see, okay. She does have numerous tickets. So the day of the incident with Lucky, when you were home and they were on the porch, you did take a video of that?
While they were on my porch? Yeah.
Do you have that video with you?
Yeah.
How did you take the video?
My daughter took it. I was on the driver's side, my daughter was on the passenger side. And she can see directly on my porch versus where it was my other daughter's car was there. So she was sitting on the passenger side. She was able to video.
Okay. And is this, oh, I'm sorry. Did you take this video on a cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. And what does the video depict?
It detects, the brown dog on my door, jumping on my door, on my porch, just literally on my door. She would come down, walk down, go back on the porch, come down, walk down, go back on the porch.
Okay. And is the video marked with what day you took the video?
I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure.
Okay, that's fine. Judge, can I have the witness play the video?
Probably gonna have to be played, so that, well, I don't know.
Is there what, Judge, practically, is there a way to put the video up to, like, the camera that the court has, which would project it?
Oh, that's very good.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who wants to be the second person today? All right.
It's her phone. I
I
don't know if I screw it up.
Responsibility.
I don't want to responsibility. Okay, we need to play it into that camera, is that what we're the plan is?
I don't know how to do that, so it would, Officer Chapman, yeah. So we're gonna have Officer Chapman, hold it up, maybe, I don't know if we can, we'll figure it out. Okay, we can get it. You want to put it up here to the camera?
Like here. You gonna be playing now, Judge?
What are you comfortable holding? Because I can zoom in and out.
I can hold it here. Is that good?
Not for TV. You have to go closer.
Like here? Okay, so let me press the arrow.
Look at him. The black one right here.
I can't see.
Just make sure you get right there, because I want them to see this is my property right here. Look at him, look. Look at him. Look.
I got him. That's your tape. Oh. They trying to get you.
Hit that, mama, hit that dog.
Yes.
Go, please, go in the house. Tell her to go in the house.
Go in the house.
Stay in the house. Tell her they in my yard.
Mama, she in the house. How you gonna tell her?
She right there. Tell her they in my yard. Look, look, now she about to mark her freaking territory. Look. If you don't hit that dog, I'm gonna hit it. Matter of fact, move. No. We switching. No, no. I want a case so them dog. No.
Oh, that's
See, look.
trying to hide. Oh.
It killed the neighbor dog over here. Their little small dog.
Hey, she better stay in the house. No, she better not go nowhere.
We have no idea.
It's a poor bastard.
They're kangaroo, so. I don't think nobody else outside. Because I ain't about to keep screaming. And he just wait. They waiting on Daddy to open the door. Yes, sir. You can see him. He right. The dog right here at the barking at the door. Tell her to get her dogs out my yard. But he did that because her husband hit my dog.
Ms. Jones, don't make a statement, okay? Text me.
Miss Davis, did that video that was just played for the court, did that depict the incident that you're talking about of the dogs on your porch?
Yes.
Okay. And from what the video was showing, the dogs were by a side door. Is that the door usually?
That's our main door.
Okay. So since the dogs were directly in front of the door, as you could see on the video, you couldn't enter?
No.
Okay. And these are the dogs that were on the video, the black and tan dog. These are the dogs that you believe are Diego and Vera that have killed your dog and the neighbor dog?
Yes.
I don't believe I saw it on the video. Did the dogs leave on the video? Was that captured?
I think so at some point, like I said, I think I heard someone, I'm not really sure,
Okay.
call them, and I think that's when they left.
Okay. And you took this video right after you went to Miss Jones' house and beat them up.
Yes.
After the dogs left, did anything happen from there?
As far as before you walked in, they need to move to admit.
Oh, thank you, George. The people moved to admit People's Proposed Exhibit 1 of the dogs being on the porch.
No objection.
Thank you. After the dogs left, were you able to enter your home?
Yes.
And did anything happen with Diego and Vera that day further, or was that the end of it?
I do believe Mr. Clark, called someone to have a dog picked up again.
Okay.
I didn't go back around here, I went in my house after that.
Okay. So you spoke to Mr. Clark that day regarding
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Okay. And was that the last day that you saw the dogs at your house or at the Normandy address?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the dogs being picked up?
No, I was at home.
Besides this incident, of course, do you have any other personal interactions with the dogs?
No.
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay, I just want to clarify a few things with respect to the tape. That was on the day that your dog was killed or your
My
neighbor?
neighbors.
Your neighbor's dog, okay. And again, you didn't witness your dog?
I was at work.
Okay. Now, over the years, I mean, you saw these two dogs in their yard, correct? On Normandy Street?
Yes.
And for a while, those dogs were actually on chains, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And when they were on chains, the dogs didn't get out, they were just barking in the yard, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't until the chains were removed, I guess, then the dogs started to get out, is that
I
right?
don't know. I don't know when the chains were removed. I don't know. All I know, they were able to get out.
Okay, understand that. And what I'm asking though is, did you observe any chains after they started getting out?
I wasn't going back there after that.
Okay, understand. Now, when you, I believe it was, you stated you drove around the block to Miss Jones's house,
Yes.
beeped on the horn in front, didn't want to get out of your car, right?
Yes.
And was your daughter with you?
My daughter and my son.
Okay, gotcha. And then was your husband involved in any of this?
He was at home.
Okay, gotcha.
He had to stand there from work.
Okay, understand. So, did he at any point hit either the tan dog or this black dog with any sticks at any point in the past?
I don't know. No, that was only.
Well, I should ask that, I'm sorry, that's unclear, very broad. To your knowledge, has your husband ever hit these dogs with a stick?
No.
And the day that you went around the block, did you actually speak to Miss Jones?
What situation?
I'm sorry, with your neighbor's dog, that's when you drove around the block,
No,
right?
I just informed her when she opened the door,
Uh-huh.
when she came to the door, and I told her her dogs were out on loose again, and they killed my neighbor's dog, and she closed the door, and that was it.
Okay, gotcha. Was there any argument or anything?
No,
Okay. Did you hear him yelling at her at all?
no,
Just one moment, Judge. Was there a time where your husband would have been with Miss Jones when you were driving back around the block, if you're aware?
no.
In that video, The dog doesn't actually attack any humans, is that right?
No.
I should clarify, that was double negative. In the video, the dog did not attack any humans, right?
No.
And the dog did not attack any humans that day from what you saw, right?
No.
Is that,
Are you speaking on my situation or my neighbor's situation?
actually, your neighbor's situation, we'll start with
No.
that. Okay.
The only thing that I recall is the dog being in the backyard with my neighbor.
Okay.
Now, that's the only thing that I recall.
Okay, gotcha, okay. But you've never saw these?
Her, no.
Oh, that's what. Thank you, Judge, nothing further, thank you.
I have just a few more questions for you. When you went to Miss Jones' house and told her about the dog staying out, did you see her?
My situation was my neighbor's.
Didn't you only go to Miss Jones' house once and you used the horn?
So that's what I saw her.
Okay. And you actually saw her?
Yes.
Okay. Can you remember what she looks like?
Well, she stuck her head through the door. I don't know how her hair was. I don't
Okay.
remember their complexion. Looked like she could be in her 30s, 40s.
Okay.
So that's all I saw, but she just opened the door enough, to see what was going on. And I informed her that her dog was out.
Okay. And do you recognize the person that stuck her head out and you told about the dogs being out in this virtual courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you please describe where this person is?
She's on the TV monitor to my right.
Okay. And if you can kind of describe how this person looks. Normally I say clothes, but I guess how their hair looks.
I don't know what to say about her hair. It doesn't look.
Oh, okay. May the record reflect the defendant has been identified.
I wouldn't object to that. No, we stipulate.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So reflected.
Okay. And I know you already answered this, but after you told her about the dogs, did she respond to anything?
No, she just closed the door.
Okay. Nothing further. Thank you very much.
Nothing for me, Judge.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jared.
You have Ms. Shepherd left?
Yeah.
Like that. Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Thank you for your patience. You are up for, it's your turn to testify finally.
Yes.
The way to work is Ms. Rogers, the prosecutor, she will ask you some questions first, and then defense counsel will follow up, and possibly Ms. Rogers has the last opportunity to ask you any questions from defense counsel. So just make sure that you speak up and
Okay.
to your best ability, okay?
Okay.
And before we begin, I'm going to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
That was loud and clear. Thank you. And attorney, prosecutor Rogers, whenever you are ready.
Good afternoon, Ms. Shepherd. It's Sydney Rogers, the city attorney. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good. If you could please state your name for the record.
Tony Shepherd,
Okay. And where do you reside?
excuse me.
Where do you reside?
16834 Linwood, Detroit, Michigan, 48221.
All right, thank you. And have you had any interactions with two dogs named Diego and Vera, which are black and tan?
Yes, I did.
Okay, if you could please, how many interactions have you had with these dogs?
Two.
Okay.
Two occasions.
If you can please describe the first interaction you had with the dogs.
The first interaction was when the dogs attacked my neighbor, Mr. and Mrs. Davis' dog. And they came in my yard and ran down my driveway, then went to the Davis's house. And the black dog grabbed Mr. Davis' dog by the side, and they took it back over to their yard. They killed it, and I heard the dog scream.
Okay. I'm sorry you had to witness that, but if I'm going to slow you down and do it kind of more of a question and answer. So you saw the dogs, Diego and Vera, the black and tan dogs, go into the Davis yard?
Yes.
Okay. And were the dogs accompanied with any people, an owner or anything?
Excuse me?
Were the dogs with a person? The black and tan?
No.
Okay.
No, they weren't.
Can you describe what the dogs look like?
One was a big black dog, and the other one was a big brown one.
Okay. And when you say big, can you still hear me?
Excuse me, wait a minute.
Her video just went off.
Okay.
She can't hear.
Okay.
When you say big, like how big do you think roughly?
They would like come up on all fours almost to my waist, seems like.
Okay.
That's how big they are. Very big dogs.
Okay, so large dogs.
Yes, very large dogs.
And did you know the name of these dogs?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So you saw the black and tan dog go into the Davis yard, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And once you saw the dogs go into the Davis yard, what did you see happen from there?
They grabbed the Davis dog. The black dog grabbed the Davis dog by the side and took it back under the fence in their yard. And the other dog went back over there, and they were tossing the dog back and forth. They had killed the dog.
Okay.
Because I literally heard the dog's bones crush.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Do you know the name of the Davis dog?
Jacob.
Okay, just so it's more clear what dogs we're talking about. So you saw the black and tan dog go into the Davis yard and take Jacob. Did you see both of them take Jacob?
Excuse me?
Did you see both the black and tan dog take Jacob, or was it only one dog?
The black dog took Jacob, and then they both went back in their yard, and they was tossing him back and forth like a toy.
And did you see Mr. Davis in the yard when this happened?
Yes, he went back over there, and he had something in his hand. He hit the dogs and grabbed his dog, but when he grabbed his dog and got him, he was dead.
Okay. And where were you when you were witnessing all of this?
I was standing at my back, by my driveway, by my fence, and I could see all of this.
And how many houses do you live from the Davises?
Next door.
Okay. And do you know where these dogs live? The black and tan dogs?
They lived behind me to the right of the back of my house.
Okay. And behind you, is that Norwood? Or I'm sorry.
Yes. Normandy.
Okay. So after the black dog took Jacob, they went back to the yard on Normandy?
Yes, they went back under the fence in their yard.
Okay. They went under the fence, you said?
Yes.
So how are they going under the fence?
Well, somehow they had pushed their fence and they would come out from up under there.
Okay. And then, but Mr. Davis was able to get his dog Jacob from the black dog?
Yes.
How was he able to do that?
He had something in his hand, I think a hatchet or something. He was hitting at the dog and he just grabbed his dog and took him back, but his dog was dead.
Okay. After Mr. Davis got his dog back, did you see anything else from there?
Yes, I had put my dogs in the house, and when I was getting ready to come back outside to get something, Mr. Davis yelled and told me that the dogs were in my backyard. So I went back in the house, and then next thing I know, I saw the dogs at his house, trying to get in his door.
Okay, so the dogs were in your yard, and then they went back to the Davis yard?
Yes.
Okay.
After he had gotten his dog back.
Okay. When the dogs were in your yard, did they try to attack you or anything?
They didn't get a chance to because I got right back in the house.
Okay. So you were outside and you went inside because the dogs came in your yard?
Yes.
And at this point, there still was not an owner or a person with these dogs?
No.
And were the dogs had a leash or anything hanging off of them?
No.
Okay. So then the dogs from your yard went back to the Davis yard?
Yes. They went down my driveway back over to the Davis house.
And what did the dogs do when they went back to the Davis yard?
They were trying to get in his door.
And from what you could see, was Mr. Davis inside or outside at this point?
He was inside his home.
Okay, and you believe the dogs are trying to get inside his house?
Yes. They were literally at his door they were barking and scratching at the door.
Okay. Were they able to get inside of his house?
No.
Good. Okay, what happened from there when they're trying to get in the house but cannot?
Excuse me?
What happened from there? Did the dogs leave or what happened when they couldn't get into the house?
They left and ran back across my yard, back up my driveway, and they were in my yard. By that time, the police came and they were on the side of my house, still in my yard, barking at the police.
Okay. And did you speak to any officers or animal control officers that day?
Yes, I think it was, I'm not sure. I think, no, I didn't talk to anyone that day. Mr. Davis had gave me a Mr. Clark's number.
Okay. And did you call Mr. Clark that day?
I called him, I think, maybe it might have been that day or maybe a couple of days later. I'm not sure.
Okay. And who is Mr. Clark?
Excuse me?
And who is Mr. Clark? Do you know who he works for?
You faded out.
Is Mr. Clark an animal control officer?
Yes, he's in animal control.
Okay. So to go back to the incident that you witnessed, so you could hear the Jacob's bones being broken?
Yes.
Okay. And how were the dogs behaving when they had Jacob? What were they doing?
They were shaking him around and growling and tossing him back and forth to each other.
Did they eventually drop Jacob?
only time they dropped was when Mr. Davis went to get his dog. And I guess he was hitting him with the hatchet he had in his hand. And he got his dog, but he was dead.
Is there anything else that you witnessed the tan and black dog do on this day?
Excuse me?
Was there anything else you saw the black and tan dog do on this day that they killed Jacob that we didn't already discuss?
No, after he got his dog, and went back into his yard, and I guess he took the dog in the house, to put him in something so he could, I guess, bury him. And the dogs, that's when they came back out and they ran through my yard, across my front yard to the Davis house.
Okay. And do you recall when this incident happened?
That was in January.
January, okay.
Excuse me?
Okay. What was your second interaction with the dogs?
Sunday, February the 16th.
And what happened on February 16th?
I was taking both my dogs out, my lab and my Shih Tzu, to use the bathroom around 6:30 in the morning. And I didn't know those dogs were out. And the next thing I know, they were on me and my dogs.
Okay. What do you mean they were on you?
They were coming in attack mode on me and my dogs.
Okay, so you were in your yard. Is your yard fenced in?
No, it isn't.
Okay, so the dogs were able to run into your yard.
Yes.
Okay. And then when the dogs, and what dogs were these that came into your yard? If you can describe what they look like.
A big black dog and a big brown one.
Okay, and these were the same dogs that you saw in January kill Jacob?
Yes.
So once the tan and black dog came into your yard, what happened from there?
I grabbed the shovel that I had outside because they were coming straight at me and my dogs, and I started swinging it because they were in attack mode and they were foaming at the mouth and growling violently. And my Shih Tzu ran past me, and my lab tried to protect the Shih Tzu. And by that time, the black dog had ran past me and ran around my car toward the driver's side, while the other dog had ran around my garbage cans, and they were both coming directly at me. And my lab stopped protecting the Shih Tzu and started trying to protect me because she went after the black dog.
Okay. So were you
excuse me?
Were you not attacked by the black and tan dog due to your black lab?
They were still trying to come at me because when she was my lab was fighting the black dog, the brown one was still coming at me, and I was still swinging the shovel, fighting the dogs off. And then the black dog ran. After my dog had attacked her, we got my lab back in the house, and we were my grandson and myself, we was trying to go get the Shih Tzu, but she had ran toward the Davis yard, and the black dog grabbed my Shih Tzu, and they had him in the back, I say the alleyway between our yard and their house. And the black dog had my Shih Tzu by the head, and the other dog had him by the rear. And my daughter had made me get in the house, and I saw those dogs from my back window pull my dog apart. And they were playing with him like a toy. And then they took both pieces back into their yard.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know you had to witness that, Ms. Shepherd. So you were able to see, so you, your grandson, and your lab were all able to get into the house, your house, correct?
Yes, yes.
And okay, and so you could, what was the name of your other dog? The one that, smaller dog?
My Shih Tzu, his name was Lucky.
Okay, but just it's easier to keep everything straight with names. So you were able to watch Lucky being attacked by the brown and tan dog from your house?
Yes, from the tan and the black dog. Yes, I saw them kill my dog.
And
There was nothing I could do.
I'm sure there was nothing to do. It was both dogs working together, or was it one dog?
Yes, both dogs.
Okay. After you witnessed them tearing your dog apart, what did the dogs do from the black and tan dogs do from there?
They both had they had a piece of him, and they took him back into their yard.
Ms. Shepherd,
And they were tossing him up like a toy.
Ms. Shepherd, this is Judge Sabree talking. Give me one moment. I want to talk to the attorneys, okay? We're just trying to get some,
Okay.
the court matters I have to discuss.
Okay. Oh
Okay, Ms. Shepherd, we're going back to your question. We had a couple house matters to take care of.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Shepherd, only a few more questions. After the incident with your dog, Lucky, what did you do from there? Did you call animal control or 911 or anything?
I called Mr. Clark. It was like maybe 6:45 or something like that, or 7 a.m. I was constantly calling him, telling him that the dogs had just attacked my dogs. And he said he would come. And eventually he came, and animal control came, and so did the police finally.
Okay. And is Mr. Clark an animal control officer?
Yes, he is.
Okay. So when Mr. Clark and the police came, what happened from there?
Mr. Clark took my statement. We walked to the back. I showed him where they had my dog, and there was a lot of blood back there from my dog. But someone had removed my dog's remains out of that yard. And so he couldn't, he didn't have the remains, but we saw all the blood.
Okay. And did Mr. Clark take the dogs from the property at that point?
Yes, they did. They went around there and they did take the dogs.
Okay. And have you seen the black and tan dog since that date?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And do you know who owns these dogs?
No, I don't know her name, but the lady that lives in back of me, I don't know her name.
Okay. Have you ever seen her?
I've saw her several times when I would be working in my backyard. I would see her.
Okay.
And we'd speak, and that was it.
Okay. And did you see her with these dogs, the black and tan dogs?
My grandson said he saw someone come out. I don't know who it was. Someone came out and got the dogs and put them in the house.
On the day.
So I don't know who did it.
On the day of the incident, you saw someone put the dogs in the house?
No, I didn't. My grandson said he saw someone come and put the dogs in the house.
I see, okay. Can you please, do you recognize the woman that you believe owns these dogs, the black and tan dog? If she's in this virtual courtroom right now?
Not really. I've only really seen her briefly twice, and when I saw her, she had blonde hair, so no, I couldn't recognize her.
Okay. Thank you very much for your testimony and your help with this. I have no further questions. Defense counsel will ask you some questions now.
Okay, good morning, or afternoon, I'm sorry, good afternoon now. I just have a couple of questions to clarify. There was two incidents that you testified to. One was January 1st, and that was the one.
January 15th.
I'm sorry, 15th. And that was your incident involving your neighbor's dog, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay, and the February 16th was the incident with your dogs, correct?
Yes.
Okay, at any point, have you saw these dogs, I'm sorry, let me just narrow it down. The February 16th incident that you testified to, you stated that you had a shovel and you were hitting the dogs, is that correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry, okay, hitting the two dogs that you say were attacking your dog, is that right?
Yes, and they were trying to attack me.
Okay, and did you get bit during that altercation?
No, I didn't.
Was the dog's primary, in your view, was the dog's primary intent was to attack your dog or attack you?
Both.
And they were being aggressive, right? Aggressive in nature?
Very aggressive.
Okay. Were they jumping up on
Yes,
you?
they were literally foaming at the mouth.
Were they jumping up on you?
They were charging at me. If I didn't have the shovel, I wouldn't be here talking to you.
Okay. But somehow they apparently got a hold of your dog, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you were not injured during this incident, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to just ask, these two dogs that you testified attacked your dog, have you saw them in their yard prior to that date at all?
Yes, I would see them in their yard, running around their yard barking.
Okay. Yeah, and they were constant barkers, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that was upsetting to you, right?
Me and the whole neighborhood.
Okay. But for a while there, those dogs were on chains, weren't they?
Yeah, for a while they were on chains, but they weren't that day. They were loose.
No, I understand that. I'm not disputing that. What I'm asking is, when they were on chains, they never got out of the yard, did they?
No, they didn't when they were on chains.
Nothing further. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shepherd. Your testimony is complete. Thank you for your patience this morning. We had a large docket, but you are finally done, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You be safe out there, and I'm sure the prosecutor will contact you, let you know the result at the end of all this, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
I would like to call Clark first. Are we gonna continue on right now?
If you, I don't know, potentially,
So we're the city of Detroit, where it's a lot
Oh,
of
you-
money, so our chief
Type your
made up
own.
one. Yep.
Okay. All right, for Officer Clark and Ms. Jones, my afternoon docket is getting ready to begin at 1:30. We have about 4 pages worth of defendants. So, and I'm required by our union laws to provide a break to staff. So we have to take a lunch break. And I believe there are 2 witnesses left, correct?
First, yeah,
From the
eventually
people.
too.
Okay, so we are going to convene. I'm not going to give you a fake time. It's not going to be until about 3 o'clock.
So log back. Ms. Jones, if I could, Judge. Ms. Jones, just make sure you log back into the Zoom room at 3 o'clock, because then we're gonna try to get this done today for you, okay? They have 2
Okay.
more witnesses, but the court obviously is very busy. They got some other things to do, and it gives me a little more time to look at some of the stuff we talked about, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll see you at
Thank
3
you.
o'clock again.
Alright. Mr. Clark, did you hear that, and are you good to come back at 3 o'clock?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we'll see you at 3 o'clock, the same Zoom number.
Yep, I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.